All right, we're joined by Tennessee head coach Karen Weekly and players Karlyn Pickens, Taylor Pannell, and Laura Mueller. A reminder to please silence your cell phones and give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. Cell phone video of the press conference is prohibited, and if you're on Zoom and want to ask a question, please use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Weekly, go to questions just for players, dismiss the players, and then go to questions just for Coach Weekly. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
Well, that was one of the most exciting, intense, emotional games I've ever been a part of in all my years of coaching, and couldn't be more proud of our young women for hanging in there, not letting what happened in the seventh inning cost us to lose the game. And that's a real battle, and I've got to give a ton of credit to the young ladies in our dugout, the young ladies on our bench, pouring energy into the team that entire game, and they're the MVP that nobody knows about.
Okay, questions for players. We'll start second row left.
Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. Could all three of you give me your perspective of that last hit, the game-winning run? Laura, what were you seeing on that pitch, and how good did it feel when it came off the bat?
Yeah, it was awesome. I've worked my whole life for that moment, but in that moment, it really felt like it was 25 of us against the pitcher. Karen even kept walking over to me and was like, the pressure's not on you in this moment. So just staying simple and passing the bat was all that was going through my mind, and I knew my team was right there with me in the box.
Yeah, I mean, this team has shown that they have my back, they have anybody's back 24/7, and I think that was just such a cool moment to see that come to life. I knew it was just a matter of time when we were going to score, but it was very special.
Yeah, when I was standing on third, I knew she was going to get it done. Like, I had full faith in her, and I was like, no matter how she does it, it's going to get done in this pitch, like right here.
Okay, we go first row right to Brady.
Brady Brennan, South America. Just Laura, just how big is it in your mind when they kind of see us walk, like kind of that you just kind of want to come through for your teammates, knowing that they don't want to pitch in front of you?
I mean, it's understandable. I've got great hitters in front of me. I've got great hitters behind me, so I could understand their decision on that. But to be able to pull through for my team in that moment felt amazing.
Okay, we go second row left.
Karlyn, Karen said during regionals that at UCLA, the first time when she learned not to pull you out of jam, you had two of them today, got strikeouts to get out of the inning. Just kind of, how are you feeling out there in those moments? And, yeah.
Yeah, definitely high-pressure moments. Really all I'm thinking about when those happen is just I have my team's back. And I've said it, if I get myself in those jams, I'm going to do everything to get myself out of them. But, yeah, just giving everybody an opportunity to get on base, get that run across. Yeah, we weren't leaving without a win. So.
Okay, we go front row left.
Trevor McGee, the Daily Beacon. Karlyn, during that seventh inning where the whole delay ensued, how were you able to stay level-minded, not really knowing what the next thing was going to be?
Yeah, I think the communication was just like no matter what the call ends up being, we're flushing it, we're focused on the next pitch, and it's not our job to worry about, the calls and everything. That's the one over there to worry about that. So we're just out there to play.
Okay, we go front row right.
Brady Brennan, South America. Taylor, on your home run, it was a first pitch. Were you hunting for anything specifically based off your last at-bats?
No, not really. I was just trying to see the ball down and get my barrel out.
Okay, we go second row left.
Cora Hall with Knoxville News Sentinel. Taylor, I know we had talked about, not getting to play in 2023 because you're injured. And what has it meant to you to be able to perform like you have on this level, especially after, starting off the tournament a little rough offensively, being able to hit your stride here and come up big in a moment like this?
Yeah, I mean, when I was going through going a little down, I was like, I'm saving it. So I feel like it's just really good, and there's really no pressure here. I'm just trying to have fun, and I think that's why I'm just letting loose, and the results are coming because I'm just not really trying as hard.
Okay, we go front row left. Eli.
Eli Letterman, ESPN. Karlyn, for you, 148 pitches. I'm curious how your arm feels now and what goes in these next 24 hours to being available potentially for more tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, after what this one does, I'm feeling pretty good. But yeah, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll got as much in the tank as I need to be, so I'm good to go.
Okay, we'll stay front row left.
Taylor, in 2023 when you weren't able to play, what was kind of that number one emotion going through your mind when you were watching everyone else play, and what are those emotions now that you are one of the top contributing factors to this team?
No, I think it was just fun, a cool experience for me to be able to be on the team, be a part of it, because not everyone can say they've been to the World Series, but actually being able to play this year, I think it's huge. I feel like I'm living out my dream this year. But yeah, it's just cool to be on this team, and I'm excited to play tomorrow.
Okay, we'll stay front row left.
Riley Robinson, WVLT News. Laura and Taylor. So right there, Karlyn went down, but after she went down a little bit there, she comes back and throws a 75-mile-an-hour pitch. You two guys playing behind her there. What is it like playing behind just someone like that with such grit and resilience in the circle?
No, she's awesome. I think she's just a blast to be around no matter what happens. She's like next pitch. Like when she fell, that was like, she was just like, we were just laughing it off, and then she just went right back at it, and I think she was throwing harder afterwards. So yeah, she's just awesome.
Yeah, she's a true competitor, and I consider myself lucky to be able to play behind someone as amazing as Karlyn.
Okay, we go second row left.
Cora Hall, Knox News Sentinel. Laura, you mentioned it earlier. This is kind of the game you wanted your whole life. You're a Tennessee kid, came here from Middle Tennessee. You really kind of caught fire in the postseason this year. What's helped you sustain that, and do you kind of expand more on just what it means to you to be playing here and performing at this level?
Just as far as the mechanics and stuff going into postseason, I really just quit pressing as much. Just kind of like what Taylor said, I just wanted to have fun, let go. This is my last season, and I didn't want to have any regrets when it was over, so I wanted to leave it all out on the field, and it's helped tremendously. And then just being here is awesome, and with this group of girls, with this team, with these coaches, it's amazing, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Any more questions for players? All right, thank you, players. You're dismissed.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach? Okay.
Karen, I was curious who had seen the play at home plate to maybe alert the umpires about the review that happened, and any thoughts you're able to give on that whole situation.
I think everybody but 4 people saw the play at the plate. We saw in the dugout that she had missed the plate, and then we saw that her teammates had, kind of pushed her back, and by rule, that's should have been nullified.
But you guys alerted the umpires to the play to review it?
Yeah. Yes. We went to the umpire and said this is what happened, and then they did their thing.
More questions? Okay, we'll stay second row left.
Could you talk a little bit about Laura Mueller and, just how you've seen her blossom this season after, getting one season under her belt here, to be able to, come up big today like she did and be a Tennessee kid? Just how cool is that?
There's just something extra special when you've grown up in the state of Tennessee. You've got Tennessee in your heart, and then you get to put it across your chest. And I've seen that time and time again. She said it. She pressed a lot this year. It's her senior year. I think there were some goals she had for herself, and if she didn't think she was performing to that level, she was putting too much pressure on herself. But probably about mid-April, I think she just kind of turned the corner for us, and Craig and I had a meeting with her and just talked about, when postseason comes around, there's going to be somebody that nobody expects. Not the person who's leading the team in hitting, not the people making All-American or All-SEC, and that could be you. And she, I think, heeded that advice and then had to do the work on her own to just, like she said, let go. But it's been pretty cool to see what she's done for us.
Okay, we'll go front row right, Brady.
Brady Brennan, South America. Just a little bit lost in it. Taylor has a home run. She almost ended it 2 other times. Just how big is it to have that All-American bat that's just flourished this whole season?
Taylor is a phenomenal hitter. She's just kind of a pro, when it comes to hitting, and she loves hitting. You can see the confidence in her when she goes up to bat. And again, like she said, I just decided to quit putting so much pressure on myself to get something done. And when you play free, your true talents can shine, and that's what's happening with her.
Okay, we'll go front row left.
Karen, to see what Taylor's doing here in this postseason and knowing that she sat out in 2023, what has she meant to this team, and how have you really seen her take the charge after getting to experience it once but actually get to play in it this time?
Well, I think when you're injured, it gives you a new perspective. And as hard as it is to go through that injury, when you can sit back and kind of watch the game, I think you appreciate the game a little bit more. And then you see things that you never are able to see when you're playing. So I think she's benefited from that. I've also just seen her grow in her maturity with her at-bats. She shakes off things really, really quickly. And she has a plan when she goes up there, and she's going to stick to her plan, and she's willing to go deep in the count to get what she wants.
Okay, we'll go back right corner to Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff Brunn, Associated Press. Coach, how do you keep your pitcher settled after a situation like that with the home run and everything? Like, what do you do? Do you say something? Do you not say anything? What do you do?
Well, during that lengthy review, we talked about if, that comes back and it goes against us and we're tied up, then we keep playing. So we just kept putting them in that mindset. I think prepare for the worst, and then if the best happens, great. So I think they were pretty good. They talked about it in our locker room. A couple of them were out there dancing on the field. They were just trying to do whatever they could to stay loose there.
Okay, we'll go second or left.
Cora Howell with the Knoxville News Sentinel. Before the review, obviously Megan Grant is one of the best hitters in the nation. It was kind of a almost similar situation as when the Oklahoma game. Was there any thought in your mind of do we walk her, do we not walk her, just knowing what had already happened in this World Series?
Yeah, I don't think that was the situation where you walk her because if I remember correctly, hitter ahead of her was on first base, right? Am I right about that? Yeah, Brian? Okay. So now we pushed the go-ahead run to second base into scoring position. We just didn't execute very well right there. That's all.
Okay, we go front row left.
Karen, over.
Yeah.
What is it about this team that allows them to stay so level-minded throughout dramatic games like you've had today, you had on Thursday? What allows them to stay so level-minded?
All season long you talk about the process and just wanting them to focus on the process. And sometimes you see it happen and other times you don't. But honestly, I think that the things that they've worked on all year are coming to fruition at the most important time. They really do buy into we're going to play free and not have any regrets. And they're doing the little things. We talk, our game plan coming in to actually this whole World Series is, hey, we're going to breathe. We're going to make eye contact. We're going to have a lot of touching and high fives. We're going to have a lot of smiles, and we're going to play free and leave this place whenever we do. Hopefully it's, next week, end of the week, knowing we have no regrets about how we laid it all on the line here.
Okay, we go second row left.
Obviously, Karlyn can handle a lot, and you guys got her out after one inning on Friday to get her, pretty much 2 days of rest. But just after going so long today, just how are you feeling about her workload going into tomorrow, knowing that, you guys would have to win 2 games to get out of it?
Yeah, it's a good thing that she had that rest. That definitely helps. You don't plan to go 9 innings and throw that many pitches, but Karlyn is really, really durable. Really durable. And I think that comes from Karlyn's an athlete. Karlyn hasn't just been a pitcher her whole life. This is an absolute stud in volleyball and basketball and softball and could be playing D1 in any sport. So I think that works in her favor. Tonight's going to be all about recovery and hydration. And, there's no tomorrow. So Karlyn's going to be ready to come out tomorrow and fight for her team.
Any more questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.